Oh, so you want to win over that special someone, right? You think the key is to spark her curiosity? Let me give you a dose of reality. If you need a guide for this, the problem runs deeper, my friend. But since you're looking for a shortcut, fine. I'll show you how to stop making a fool of yourself and start being taken seriously. First thing, stop being lazy. Are you just coasting in the relationship, and you still want her to stay interested? What a joke! Men love doing this. They think that once they've caught someone, they can relax. You can't! The flame dies out fast, and then you're left wondering where it all went wrong. And for those of you on Tinder or any other app thinking you'll win with some basic profile charm, wake up. Don't be desperate or needy. That's just ugly. Get your act together and pay attention, because I'm not going to repeat myself. Number 1. Stop being needy. You know what kills attraction faster than a bad haircut? Neediness. And I'm not talking about being into her. I'm talking about that pathetic behavior of seeking approval every second, being ready and waiting like her little puppy. My friend, you become an instant repellent when you start bombarding her with messages and are available at her every beck and call. Grow up and get a life. Want respect. Show her that you have an amazing life without her. Do your own thing, follow your passions, keep your friends close, and stop dropping everything just because your phone buzzed. That's not charm. That's desperation. And no one likes a desperate guy. But don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to turn into a robot who ignores everything. Balance, my friend. Show interest without making her feel like you live for her. When you make it clear that your happiness doesn't depend on a hello from her, that's when you start getting interesting. And guess what? She'll start wondering, what's up with this guy who's so secure and independent? That mystery is what will draw her to you. In short, fit her into your life as a compliment. Don't make her your sole reason for breathing. Number 2, learn how to walk like a man, for heaven's sake. Before you even open your mouth, your body's already screaming who you really are. And if you walk all slouched, with your shoulders down and your head buried in your phone, guess what? You're sending the message, I'm a nobody. So, listen up. Stand up straight, shoulders back, and chin up. It's not just to look confident. It's to feel confident, because no one wants to go out with someone who looks like a sack of potatoes. Eye contact is key, but don't stare like a psycho. It needs to be just right. Enough to show interest, but not so much that she feels like she's being interrogated. And stop crossing your arms or shrinking into the corner. Open gestures, arms visible, like you're saying, I'm cool, got nothing to hide. When she talks, lean in a little, but don't glue yourself to her like some clingy gum. Keep a respectful distance, okay? And for the love of all that's holy, give a genuine smile, not the kind that looks like a used car salesman. No playing with your phone or fiddling with your keys. That makes you seem like you're running from your own shadow. At the end of the day, confident body language isn't about puffing out your chest like a peacock or trying to be the biggest guy in the room. It's about being comfortable with yourself. If you can't do that, step back and work on yourself, because this isn't going to fly. Number 3, make her laugh, but don't play the clown. Alright, you want to be attractive? Then stop thinking you need to become a second-rate stand-up comedian. Laughter is a powerful tool, yes, but you don't need to crack rehearsed jokes all the time. The secret? Use the humor in everyday situations, and, most importantly, don't take things too seriously. Nobody likes a guy who finds drama in everything. Say something silly about what you're both seeing, or share a funny story from your day. But watch out for too much self-deprecating humor. A joke here and there is fine, but if you start putting yourself down too much, you'll come off as desperate for validation. You want to be confident, not the pity guy, so use that humor sparingly. And here's the basic rule: adapt to her sense of humor. Does she like sarcasm, slapstick comedy, goofy jokes? Be smart, tune in, and roll with it. But for the love of everything, don't force it. Now, just as important as making her laugh, laugh at her jokes too. Show you've got a brain and can appreciate it when she throws out a good one. This builds a strong connection. And guess what? A shared laugh can be the start of something much more interesting. Number 4, stop being a pushover and challenge her interest. If you think agreeing with everything she says is going to get you in her good books, you're completely wrong. Women like a challenge, but listen up. I'm not saying to become a jerk who plays mind games. That just makes you look like an idiot. The trick is to be interesting enough for her to want to invest in the conversation. And guess what? That sometimes means disagreeing. Yes, you're allowed to have your own opinions, did you know? Engage in a real discussion, with arguments that make sense, and don't just nod along like a puppet. Ask her why she thinks a certain way, and be ready to hear her answer. And heads up, it's not about playing the know-it-all. Showing that you care about what's going on in her head is worth more than any empty compliment about her looks. A good conversation, where you stimulate her mind and challenge her ideas a bit, can be way more attractive than you might think. When she realizes that you see her as an equal, that you value her opinions, and you're not just there for her looks, you start playing at a higher level. Respect and mental connection are far more powerful than any superficial talk. So, pay attention and stop being predictable. If you're tired of being the guy she walks all over, who takes any scrap and still gets kicked to the curb, then wake up. It's time to stop swallowing disrespect and flip the script. Go to the description and grab the ebook I left for you. After reading it, you'll learn to be a real challenge, to never lower your head again, and to put any woman in her place without any mercy. No more being stepped on and discarded like trash. If you want respect, start acting like a man who demands respect. Number 5. Stop thinking only with your body and learn to create an emotional connection. Look, physical attraction is cool and all, but if that's all you've got to offer, the relationship won't last a second. The secret to keeping long-term interest is building a deeper bond. And this doesn't mean dumping all your childhood trauma on the table right away, but gradually opening up and showing you've got more than just muscles or small talk. And when she talks, do yourself a favor and really listen. Don't just wait for your turn to say something witty or clever. Show empathy, reflect on what she said, and prove you're paying attention. Then maybe you'll find common ground, values, interests, or even struggles you've both overcome. It's in those connections that things start to get real. Building an emotional bond sets you apart from the crowd. She'll see you as someone who understands, who sees beyond the surface. And that emotional intimacy? Oh, buddy, that can be a huge draw. But pay attention. This isn't a technique to manipulate or seduce. It's about being authentic. If it's just an act, she'll see right through it. So, share genuinely and connect, or don't even start. Number 6. Learn how to build sexual tension without looking desperate. Because, let's be honest, no one wants to be the guy who rushes things and ruins it all. Sexual tension is that flutter in your stomach. That energy between two people who haven't done anything yet, but know there's something there. The secret: create that vibe without coming off as a creep. You want her to feel the excitement without ever feeling pressured. If you rush it, you'll burn out. If you're too slow, you'll end up in the nice friend zone in no time. So how do you do it? First, subtle touch. A light touch on the arm, on the shoulder, or when you're laughing together. But I repeat, subtle. No overdoing it and pawing at her like you're staking your claim. Standing a bit closer in crowded spaces also works, just so she feels your presence without it being invasive. It's the kind of thing that leaves her wondering, is he into me or not? Now, eye contact. Look her in the eyes, but not like a psycho. Hold the gaze a second longer than usual, just enough for her to notice. This creates mystery, makes her wonder what's going on in your head. Then flash a slight smile, because real sexual tension is built on small provocations. And don't break it with some dumb or over-the-top comment. Flirt in a subtle, smart way, making her laugh, without looking like you're trying too hard. But pay attention. The key here is to always be ready to pull back. If she shows any sign of discomfort or pulls away a little, you stop right then and there. The last guy who pushed too far is sitting home alone right now, so don't be that guy. Sexual tension is about leaving things in the air, leaving the "will it happen" hanging in her mind. If you push too hard, you kill the magic. The real secret is to build anticipation, leave the potential in the air without giving it all away. Make her think about you later, remembering that look or that touch, wondering what comes next. That's what makes the interaction exciting, what makes her want more, and, most importantly, what makes her respect you. Number 7, the power of detachment. You know what secret most guys never understand? Let go! That's right. Stop living in constant worry about whether she likes you or not. Being desperate for approval just makes you look, well, desperate. And guess what? That pushes any woman away. Pay attention. The idea is to enjoy the moment, savor the conversation, the interaction, and not obsess over how it's going to end. If it works out, great. If not, oh well. When you stop acting like it's life or death whether she likes you, guess what happens? You seem way more confident. You're no longer that guy with neon on his forehead begging for attention. You're the guy who's cool, secure, who's there because he wants to be, not because he needs to be. And you know what's even better? This detachment makes you more relaxed, more authentic, without that tension of, I have to impress. And surprise that impresses more than any calculated effort. This laid-back attitude also gives her the space she needs. Too much pressure and boom, she's already figuring out how to escape. When you act like you're fine with whatever the outcome is, you give her the chance to think for herself and maybe even chase after you. Because, my friend, true attraction isn't shoved down her throat. It grows when you stop trying to force it. Focusing on enjoying the moment instead of the final prize not only makes you look more attractive, but it builds real connections without that childish game of winning or losing. And in the end, the one who gets too attached always ends up losing. Number 8, stop sabotaging yourself. Stop making excuses for yourself. It's time to face reality. If you're here asking for tips on how to win someone over, it's because you still don't understand that the biggest problem in this equation is you. You're your own worst enemy. Everything I've said so far won't matter if you keep repeating the same pathetic mistakes. You know that habit of putting yourself down, of thinking you're not good enough, that you need to mold yourself into what she wants. Yeah, that's what's sinking you, my friend. You're crawling for approval, killing yourself for scraps of attention, and then wondering why things never work out. Let me hit you with some reality. If you don't respect yourself, no one will. Want to attract someone for real? Then stop acting like a loser who accepts anything. And here's the hard truth. Life isn't going to wait for you if you keep sabotaging yourself. Want her to value you? Start by valuing yourself. Want to be interesting? Then build an interesting life instead of sitting in the corner whining for attention. Enough with the excuses, enough with the laziness. No one is going to save you. No one is going to make you the best version of yourself. That's on you. If you keep staying in this ridiculous cycle of insecurity, you're going to stay stuck in the same mediocre place forever. And you know what? Maybe you deserve it if you keep this up. What do you want to be? The guy women ignore without blinking? Or the one who walks into a room and becomes the center of attention without even saying a word? The choice is yours, but if you keep up with this loser attitude, don't come back here asking for more help because I don't have patience for someone who doesn't want to truly improve. Now get out of here and do something with your life. End of story.